What's up, everybody? This is Maximilian, and this one is a shorty. I apologize for that, but this is also has to do with not only the fact that I pretty much had no idea what I was doing in this episode, but it also has to do with the fact that, well, not kind of at the point where I'm super busy in school, but I'm trying to reset my sleep schedule right now, which means I have to keep myself busy, and I gotta admit, playing Pokemon gets a little tedious after a while. So right now, I'm not sure what I'm doing. And I kept thinking, okay, maybe this will get Misty in the gym. Maybe this will get Misty in the gym. And it just never got Misty in the gym. It's not coming to me off the top of my head how exactly you start fighting Misty. So I'm at a loss. I'm just going with whatever the game presents to me. And after I took care of the power plant, I figured, okay, surely this would be it. But apparently we're not quite there yet. So essentially, all this episode is, or was rather, was 15 minutes of me running around in circles in the Cerulean gym trying to figure out where exactly he dumped off the machine part. And it was the reason I couldn't find it was because I wasn't facing the part of the water correctly. So what ended up being a 15-minute video is actually only a 7-minute video because you really don't want to see me walking around in circles for that long. This is just more plot continuation, and I would have gone online and looked up how exactly to proceed from here. However, it just so happened that at the same time I was recording this video, my internet went down completely. We have zero internet access right now at the time I'm recording this, so it's not really a whole lot I can do. And I'm not entirely sure when this will be fixed. Hopefully it will be very, very soon, because the internet is an absolute necessity when you're a college student. Not necessarily because it's essential for you to do work, but, I mean, come on. We all need the internet, because how else are we going to entertain ourselves and keep ourselves amused, am I right? Yeah, I can't tell you how often I spend my time on StumbleUpon or Wimp or various other websites just for no other sake than that I am just completely bored at the time and I have nothing better to do. My go-to instinct is hop on the internet. So you can imagine right now I'm in an absolute state of panic. I'm losing my mind. I'm just going insane at the thought of what could I possibly do with my time. Maybe I could read a book? Oh, egads. I actually should probably do that. I'm oh so close to finishing the Fellowship of the Ring, and I know you people are thinking like you're finishing the Fellowship of the Ring. You're like 10 years too late. The movie came out a long time ago, and I will admit, yes, I did see the movie before finishing the book. But you have to understand at the same time, the Fellowship of the Ring is a very interesting way to start off a trilogy because there's a lot of detail involved in it because it's the thing that sets the stage, which is understandable. Because, I mean, Tolkien has to establish not only the plot, but the location of the plot, all the characters that are going to be involved in the story, and all kinds of other things have to be taken care of. Well, that tends to be the slowest part of any story is the beginning, when you're laying the foundations for the rest of the story. And I can say from experience that I've attempted on several occasions to read the Fellowship of the Ring, but it only took about 100 pages or so for me to hit absolute, like, a roadblock. I know, like, I wouldn't want to call it reader's block, because that doesn't sound right. But, I mean, I guess it's the best way to describe it. Because I've heard of writer's block, where you're trying to write something, whether it's just for a blog or something creative, for the sake of writing, but you have no clue what to write about. You're just at a loss for writing. And that's kind of how it was with me and Tolkien. I just couldn't continue anymore after that first 100 pages. And it always was, daunting to me to think, well, I'm going to hit that 100-page block again if I start from the beginning, because it had been months since I had attempted it, even years, on previous occasions, so I just never picked it up again. Well, I found a book series that I wanted to read, which was A Song of Ice and Fire by George Martin. Uh, Recently, they released the first, I guess, book-ish of this series on HBO in their series called Game of Thrones, which is the name of the first book. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I want to read this, but it just didn't feel right to me knowing that I had seen all the Lord of the Rings. I had grown up with it pretty much my entire middle school and high school life. I even played the trading card game at Gen Con, for crying out loud, and I still haven't read the books yet. So I kind of made it a point to myself that I'm going to read The Lord of the Rings before I start this book series. So right now, I am almost through the Fellowship of the Ring. I have just taken it chapter at a time, just kind of grinding my way through it. And grinding just sounds like a little bit degrading. I really don't like to use that word there. But for the first part of it, it is kind of a chore. It's really slow, and you don't even get to the Prancing Pony for like the first 150 pages. But once you get going, it starts to pick up a little bit, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I have like 60 pages or so left to go, which is really awesome. Because I know from at least previous occasions when I've started the Two Towers, because I've started every book at least once, and I have yet to finish any of them, which is really sad. But I know from previous starts of the Two Towers that the Two Towers is just instantly picking up right where it left off, and it doesn't bother with well, excuse me, doesn't bother setting up any of the plot. You don't need to lay any kind of foundations like you did in the Fellowship. It just goes straight into what's going on. There's non-stop action throughout the book, and it feels like you're actually accomplishing something in terms of the plot line. So, the Two Towers is actually a really satisfying read. But I think it was mostly negligence on my part that led me to put down the Two Towers, because it was kind of like a little bit of guilt from, well, I've got the Fellowship of the Ring sitting there that I haven't read yet. Can I really continue reading the Two Towers? At the same time, it was also just, well, I've got other things I want to do, because this is when I was in high school and, summer happened. Your first instinct is probably not going to be to read the book. I mean, it would be, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess it would be the right thing to do. It sounds like it would be wrong to not read a book, but that's what your parents always tell you. You should go read a book, but you never do. Let's be honest, we don't do it. It's just not commonplace in our modern generation. So I never picked up the Two Towers again. However, I am looking forward to it. It's going to be coming up probably in the next couple of weeks or so. I should be done with the Fellowship. And I say a couple of weeks, and you think it's 60 pages in a couple of weeks. This guy's the slowest reader ever. And you know what? You're right. I am the world's slowest reader. I actually have an official plaque from the Guinness Book of World Records. No, seriously. But I suck at reading. That's probably my least favorite subject when I was in like the elementary school, middle school. I hated reading because I was always really slow at it, and my reading comprehension really wasn't the greatest. If it didn't absolutely hook me and interest me, I just wasn't good at reading. So it takes me a long time to read things, and I have a very busy schedule coming up in the next few weeks, so hopefully I'll at least have some time to make videos, if not read. Anywho, thanks for watching. Hopefully this kind of gave you your daily dose of Maximilian and keeps you satisfied until next time. See you guys later.